the problem is that people don't understand the concept of saving money before you buy something.
That's right.
I've talked about this on my webcast. There's a incredibly funny, but just a golden nugget of a clip from Saturday Night Live from years ago. It's when Steve Martin was on the show.
Oh gosh.
And it's absolutely perfect. It's this couple is in the kitchen. Steve Martin and I can't remember, Jane something, or I think her name was and they're in the kitchen table fretting over their credit card bills. And what are we going to do? We're all this debt. And all of a sudden this guy shows up, like comes on camera, and he goes, "Read my book." And he goes, it's called "Don't Buy Stuff You Can't Afford." and they're like, "What?
I don't understand.
What does that mean?" And he goes, "Well, look at page 1. Save money before you buy something." I go, "Save money?"
Yep.
And he goes, like, "Well, wait a minute. If I don't have the money but I want something, I can buy it, right?" And he goes, "No, you can't buy it." "Really?"
Yep.
And then he says, "But where are you supposed to get all of this saved money?"
Yep.
It's an absolutely classic sketch.
Yeah, I'll never forget
sketch.
what my current doctor and favorite medical doctor once said, "Danielle, don't look at diets. If you want to lose weight, eat less." He's like,
eat less and exercise more.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
And it's the same concept.
You know, we were really at a point at one point when I was a kid where we were really scratching to get by, and we were at the supermarket and we didn't have enough money, and we had to put stuff back.
Yeah.
And I said to my mother, because there were no credit cards before 1970.
That's right.
So here we are. Credit cards had just kind of come around.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Why don't you just put it on the credit card?" And she just looked at me and she says, "Let me tell you something. Never, ever, ever put food on a credit card.
Yep.
Ever. Never borrow money to buy food, because that's a slippery slope which ends potentially very badly." I never forgot that. But also when I was a kid, there were no auto loans.
Nope.
They didn't exist. You had to save the money and go and actually buy the car.
And now you
cash.
can take 7 years.
No.
And
Well, it's come this far. It's because, it's one of these things where everyone knows that borrowing money to buy food and leveraging up on your car, and on that note, it's funny. I was listening to the radio a while ago, and they were talking about how there was such a steep decline in the prices of used luxury cars. And I mean luxury cars, Lambos, Ferraris.
Right.
And they were down like 50% in a year. And this was before COVID. This was when the economy was good, right?
Right.
And they said, the prices have gone from I'm just making up numbers, but $300,000 to $150,000. And I was like, how could that be? I mean, the economy's okay.
Yeah.
And the reason was that they had toughened up on the lending standards for used car loans. I was like, people are borrowing $300,000 to buy a Lambo?
Oh yeah. Their payments are like mortgage payments.
So it's one of these things where everyone knows that this is a bad way to go, but it's one of those things where in the short term, there's a payoff, and it's just like our national debt, it's just like so many things that, you've been saying that this is a problem for years, and look, everything's fine. Yes, it's a problem in the long term, everybody says, but that could be a long, long way away. But what happens is you glue enough short terms together, and all of a sudden the long term is today.